Hi, I'm Dan Cogan with Access Security. We're here in our training center, and we're here to talk to you about Exact's suspect tracking feature. Really great feature when you're trying to find somebody and track somebody around either a building or the exterior of a building, campus. Basically, what it's allowing you to do is instead of knowing the camera name and dragging it over, you very simply can click on an area of the image, which will take you to the camera that they've then walked into. So we're going to basically show you how that gets set up and then how that works. So the top left is our little gear button. We're going to go up to there. We're going to click on settings. We're then going to start with our first camera. Our first camera is going to be our employee entrance camera, number 117. We're going to click there. We are then going to look across the top of our tabs. We have suspect tracking. That's what's going to allow us to set up the suspect tracking feature. We're going to click new down in the bottom left there. This is going to allow us to configure an area that the person would then walk into, which will take us to our next camera. So under area configuration, we're going to click select a camera. We're going to start off with our camera that you're going to move into, which would be the customer experience hallway. So we check that off and we click apply. We're then going to draw a box. About midway down through that hallway, there's a door. We're going to draw a small, so you just click and drag that box open. You'll get that box there. Down below, you can see that you have a color. You can change the color of that box by clicking on the color. You can pick any of the colors that are available within here or create a custom color. Click OK. You can see how that's changed now. So you can also change the transparency, which is right below that. You can change that anywhere from 0 to 100. 30 is a pretty good number. You can keep it at, which makes it very translucent and allows you to see what's going on behind it. You click apply. That's going to save that into the image. We can now go over and we want to create a new one. So we have another camera that we can also move to. So we're going to click new. We're going to click select camera. And this is going to be our operations center camera. So we're going to go to operations and we're going to check that off and click apply. And this is at the top right corner of that hallway. We're going to draw another box. And you can make the boxes different colors, so they don't all have to be the same color. You can change the color on any one of these areas and then click OK. So we've now changed that box and you can see how that looks. And we're going to click apply. So now what we're going to do is we've set up this camera, but now we want to set up the cameras as somebody walks into one of those cameras that they can also track back into this camera. So should they walk into the other image, that we can track them back into this image when they walk back through that. So we're going to start off by going to the customer experience hallway. So we click that on the left-hand side. We go to our suspect tracking tab. We go down to new. We click new again. We select the camera, which is going to be the camera that we just came from, which is that hallway, employee hallway camera. We're going to click apply. We're going to draw that box down in the bottom left corner, which is the doorway that leads back to that camera. And we're going to click apply. We're now going to go to the operations camera that we identified. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to go to new. We're going to select a camera, which is again that same employee entrance or employee hallway. We select that and click apply. And we draw a box down in the bottom left-hand corner, which leads us back to that area. We click apply, and that'll save that. Now, if we move over to our live view, we can now see that we have an added icon at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. What that allows us to do, that's going to turn on or off the suspect tracking feature. So you can see when we click it, those two gradient boxes show up on the image. If we click it again, they disappear. They're not embedded into the image at any point. If there's something that you're never going to miss any video, it's very easily able to just turn that feature off. And again, this works in both live and playback, which is very convenient. So we're going to turn it on. We now get those little gradient areas. We're going to double click on the area right there, which is going to take us to our customer experience hallway. So you can see how easily, I didn't have to click and drag a camera over. I didn't have to know what camera was. I just know that a person would walk through that area. Same thing as if they walked back through that door. We can double click down there, and that's going to take us back into that hallway. Again, we can show you the top one. Double click there. We move into the operations camera. Down in that bottom left-hand corner, we can click in there, and that's going to move us back. So you can see how very easily you can move back and forth in transition between cameras. So you don't have to know, so an inexperienced operator can very easily move back and forth between cameras and follow somebody around whether they're tracking somebody live or whether you're doing a case, building a case, or reviewing an incident. You can move around the system very easily using suspect tracking. Very easy to set up, and it's a great feature. So what we're going to do is we're going to now run you through a simulation of how that would work well for you after you had set up your camera system with suspect tracking. So now we're going to show you a quick demo of how suspect tracking works. We're going to have a person walk around. So you can see now here we have somebody walking through the lobby. We're going to double click on that next. That's going to bring up our next camera. So we now see him walking down through this image. In the right-hand side, we now have the next camera that he'll walk into. So again, we don't have to know what that camera name that goes to. All we need to know is that, okay, he walked off. I can double click on that image. He's now going to appear onto the next camera. So as we transition from area to area and as they walk through that gradient box, we can easily find which camera that they went to. And then these are the ones that we set up earlier, and we can double click there, and we have them back again. So that's a very easy way to transition from camera to camera without having to have a lot of experience using the software or knowing the camera names. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at Access Security. Thank you.